Hey guys, so to start the quest, we're going to be here in Edgeville, and we're going to be right at the Soul Wars portal. Enter the portal. Talk to Zimberfizz. Nomad's Elegy. Accept the quest. Investigate the tent. Talk to Zimberfizz. And we're going to go to the eastern wall now. Investigate the fading footprints. Then we're going to investigate the throne. Investigate the sticky goo to the west of it. Then a little north, investigate the crystals. And you'll be taken to Death's office. We're going to go to the north and go through Death's door. And we want to speak to Death. What do we do now? I have to go. And we're going to head to the most northwestern pier. And once you get down here, embark on the Dusty Jetty. Say yes. Once you get here, speak to Astrid, and you'll go through a dialogue with her. I accidentally spoke to her without recording, so she's not going to go through the same dialogue. But yes, speak to her. And then once you're done with that, head inside and speak to Xenia. Option 1, friendly greeting. Alright, and now we're going to climb up the staircase. Head to the room with a spinning wheel in it and speak to Hazelmere. Head to the room just to the north. Attempt to open the chest. Attack and kill Xenia, or Guilt. I'm going to skip to the end of that, so good luck. After that, pick up the key that was dropped and open the chest. Search the chest. We want to speak to Hazelmere again. He's just in a different location this time. Alright, we're going to climb up the staircase. And now we want to open this chest. Once again, someone's going to spawn, so attack and kill it. I'm going to skip to the end of that, so good luck with the fight. Again, you'll want to pick up the key that was dropped. Open the chest. And search it. You want to use the memories on each other. And that should be a full Xenia memory now. From here, we want to climb the ladder that's just along the wall. Talk to Hazelmere. Climb down the ladder. Climb down the staircase. Again, climb down. And we're going to go outside the castle area. And we're going to speak to Karasi. Or Jessica. It could be either one. From here, we want to climb up the ladders right here. And climb up one more time. Speak to Hazelmere. Alright, climb down the ladders. Head to the southern side of the castle. There should be a wizard. Option 1, I'm not Karasi. Option 3, my name is Karasi. Option 2, Wizard Greyzag. Option 2, you represent danger. Option 4, I am not afraid of you. Option 1, then I won't fail. Alright, and you should get half of the memories. And at this point, we want to go give Xenia her memories. So we're going to go talk to her. And we're going to exit the castle. Excuse me. And climb up the ladders right here. Whoa. Jeez. Alright, talk to Jessica. And these guys could be flipped. This could be Karasi by chance too. Just depends. Alright, combine the memories. Climb down. And go talk to Karasi right outside. Or Jessica. Alright, talk to Hazelmere in the shop just a little bit south. Head back into the castle area and go behind it on the western side. Hazelmere will be back here. Speak to him. And last, go to the where you spawned in on here and speak to Hazelmere. Doesn't matter what option you choose, he'll come with you anyways. Now, talk to Astrid or Brand, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you say. And there we go. Enter the portal and say yes. Alright, so this next part is fighting. So if you don't have enough food on you, there's a bank right next to Death up here that you can use. But we're going to go to the eastern pier. And we're going to embark on the jetty. So for this part, what you're doing is you're protecting little goblins, essentially. There's 10 of them. And there's 3 waves you have to survive through. And at the end of the wave, at least one of them needs to have survived. If one of them doesn't survive, then you redo the wave. So, kind of self-explanatory. Really what you want to do is have the things that are spawning to be aggressive to you. So hit them once, and then they'll be aggressive to you. And that's what you want to do. Now, that sounds really simple right now, but it gets a little tricky, because they can start spawning up in bunches of 3s, and they'll run and stuff, so it gets a little tough. So these are all the goblins that you need to protect, by the way. So it says we have 10 of them. So for this part, they can spawn in 2 places. They can spawn down here. So you want to get them aggressive to me as soon as possible. and they can also spawn over here by the ladder. And as I was saying, if there is a chance that you do fail the wave, it's not a huge deal. You just restart the wave over. And there we go. That's wave 1 completed. So for this one, you want to stand on the bridge because they can spawn. They only spawn right here, and you want to basically be keeping them as far away from the bridge as possible. And remember, just keep getting them aggroed on you. And later in this wave, they start spawning in more than just one at a time. So that's when it begins to get a little bit more tricky. Just like that. So they spawned in a wave of 3. Alright, so for this one, they can spawn right here, and they can also spawn over here. So it can get a little bit tricky, and they also, as it goes on, they'll start spawning quicker. And most of the guys in this wave, they all run for the most part. But almost done. This is the last wave of the 3. We might make it. There's a lot of them. Whew. Alright, and there we go. As it gets a little hectic, but you just gotta keep in mind to keep them aggressive on you, and you should be able to do it just fine. So, I don't know if you guys skipped through this or not, but feel free to pause if you're watching through it, and elsewise, we're gonna continue on. And now, feel free to restock on food if you need. Don't get any familiars though, because you'll have to unspawn or make them go away. So just restock on food if you need. And once you're ready, hit plan on the war table. Just say, I just need to ask you a few things first. And keep threatening in him until you get the option to remove a crystal. So just keep doing option 2. And now you see I have the option to remove the crystal, so I'm going to click that option. And then I'm going to threaten him. And then I'm going to remove a crystal. And just keep alternating between threatening and removing crystal. And you're going to keep doing this threaten, crystal remove, until he dies, essentially. So, kind of sad, but it's our job. So, I'm going to cut this out since it's kind of very repetitive. So, feel free to pause here until you end up killing him. So, good luck, and talk to you guys soon. After you kill them, you'll be sent back. Click on the war table. You can choose any 2 people. It doesn't matter. Now you want to assign one of them to gather wood and one of them to gather metal. And then you yourself will just mine, essentially. You just want to help them get to the 25 of each total. So feel free to pause here until you get 25 of each, and then we'll move on from there. Alright, good luck. And once you finish, you'll get this message saying you have enough materials. And at this point, you can leave out of the exit. Now down on the bottom you should see a build option on a battering ram. Go ahead and do that. This part is very AFK and takes a little bit. So again, I'm going to cut this out, and yeah, it just keeps going on until it finishes. It takes quite a bit. So pause here until you want to move on to the next part. And once it's completed being built, you're going to get this message. You can head back up to the top and feel free to restock on supplies if you need to, as we're going to a fighting portion of the quest. So I'm just going to grab a few more rock tails. And you can also bring a familiar if you want, but actually what I'm just going to recommend for this part is don't bring one, because you can teleport out and come back, and that's just a much easier way of doing it. And yeah, so feel free to bring a teleport if you want, or just if you're ready to do the whole all the boss fights and stuff and you're just good, then feel free to bring a familiar if you want. But pause here until you're ready to go, and then we'll continue on. Once you're ready, we're gonna plan on the war table. So now we have this little thing right here. When you click on one of them and then click on a spot on the map or on the screen, they'll move to that part. So for this one, we want to keep in the two top people up in front. That's what we want them to do. And you can also click on them too if you want to command them. And you also need to be in front of the ram, but you also can't get too far ahead. Because if you get too far ahead, the ram will stop moving. And as you go down this area, Ascension members are going to spawn, and basically you want Death and the Encathering guy to attack and kill them. And also yourself too. So shouldn't be too hard for this part. As I was saying, just keep Death and Catherine up front ahead of the ram. And now we're going to move on to the next part. This part's a little bit more tricky, but what you want to do is you want to assign each person to basically make a wall. And that will stop everyone from coming through, hopefully. Now here and there, stuff slips, and there's nothing you can do about that. But you want to just try your best to block it. And they'll attack them, and then your goal is to stop the monsters that are spawning over here. There's two spawns. There's one right here, and there's also one right over here where you just saw that guy spawn from. So your goal is to stop these guys and have them aggro on you as best as possible. And yeah, and then their goal over there is to stop everyone from coming through. Now here and there, things slip through, and there's nothing you can do about that. Just protect the arm, and that's your main goal. And just to give a little update, what I ended up doing was bringing down Catherine with me, just to help out, because it got a little bit hectic over here. And then I'm mainly just guarding this area right here and making sure no one slips through. And he's just here to help me out, and the other guys up there are just creating a wall of defense. I'm going to skip the end of this part, and then we'll go from there. Good luck with this. And there we go. Finish that up. And at this point, we're mainly on to the boss fights of the quest. If you would like to, you can teleport out, or there's also a portal to leave, and that way you can go and rebank for food and stuff like that if you need to. And for reference, this right here is the portal I was speaking of, so you can just leave out of here and come back here. Now to get back here, you just go to Death's office, which is right here in Draenor Village. And when you click on enter, you'll say continue Nomad's Elegy, and you'll go from there. Alright, so I'm going to continue this on. Once I get back to the main place, I'm just going to get a Beast of Burden familiar and fill it with food. So, see you guys soon. Once you're ready for the first fight with Nomad, we're going to go to the middle. Alright, so once you're ready, pot up and everything and get ready for the fight. You're just going to go to the middle and start attacking Nomad. Now, one main thing I'm going to try to reiterate throughout this fight is try your best to stay away from the middle. In the middle, this big guy down below can slam and attack it whenever he starts moving. So just try your best to stay away. And those are the two special attacks that can happen through this fight. If Nomad ever says feel the power of Gielinor, instantly run away from the middle. Yeah, and that's pretty much the gist of the fight. I'm gonna cut the rest of this fight out, and good luck with the fight. And there we go. That's the first fight with Nomad completed. And now you're going to be Xania. Now at this point, if you would like to restock, you can. You're just going to go out the door right here and say yes. And you can go restock your food on your main character. So for this next part, you're Xenia. And up here, you have 3 special attacks. Basically, what you're doing is you're killing all the Ascension members, and you're going to spam your special attacks. So, best thing to do is go stand in the middle of them, and then just spam the special attacks. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the rest of this out since it's a pretty self-explanatory portion, and we will go on once we get to the next Nomad part. One thing I am recommending for the next part, though, once you do finish this, take a look at your health bar and just make sure that you're at a good health, because there is some issues where they can attack you before you even can see your character. And yeah, so we'll go from there, and good luck with this part. Shouldn't be too hard at all. So for this second fight with Nomad, the same thing still exists, where if he says power Gielinor, he'll teleport you to the middle and attack you. Then there's the next one where he says, can you handle my wrath? And essentially for this one, he is going to slam you with an attack. You are planning on just holding up to the attacks against you, then just make sure that you're at full health. And you want to still keep an eye on the guy in the middle. Hopefully that makes sense. Feel free to ask me in the comments if you have questions about this, and I can help you out more with it. So I'm going to skip to the end of this little fight. And there we go. Barely just made it on that one. Whew. So on to the next part. And as always, if you want to, you can exit out of this area, go restart, and get all your food all ready and everything, and we can move on to the next part. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. So for this part, it's pretty easy. There are some special attacks that fly at you, so if you die, it's okay. It happens. But what you want to do is, there's 4 walls on here, north, west, south, and east. You're going to provoke on the wall. A hand is going to come, but you want to move out of the way once you provoke, and then you'll scythe the hand, and then you're going to soul reap on the thing that is left behind. So just going to show you guys, for example, what I'm talking about. So I'm going to run up here. I'm going to provoke. I'm going to move just a little bit away. The hand is going to come. I'm going to use the scythe attack. And then I'm going to reap on this little thing that's left behind. Makes pretty much good sense. And then you're going to repeat this for each side that you can go to. I'm going to skip until the next part. And there we go. So, back to fighting Nomad. Make sure your health is back up. And pot up. And so for this fight, it is essentially the same as the last phase, up until 50% health. Now, once he gets to 50% health, he will spawn a clone. Now, you have to attack and kill one of the nomads that's there. So there's 2 nomads that are there, and you don't know which one is him. So you can be killing the clone and not even know it, and you'll have to continue the fight until you kill the real nomad. But now if you kill the real nomad, you have nothing to worry about, as this part of the fight will just end then. And there we go. This is the part that I was talking about, in which he spawns a double. I'm going to skip to the end of this portion, and then we'll go from there. And there we go. On to the next part. So again, for this one, I recommend just leaving the area and restocking. It makes sense to, and it's just kind of a bad decision not to if you can restock. So, gonna restock, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so on to the next part. So for this part, you have two special attacks. You have the staff-looking one and then the shield-looking one. You're going to be going in a counterclockwise fashion around this area. And there's going to be these little spirits that spawn. You're going to use the staff one on them and catch the spirits. Now while you're doing this, you're running away from a special attack from the Gillinor guy. And that's why you need to go counterclockwise. So do not get hit by the special attack. And then I'm going to show you guys this, and then I'm going to show you when you use this deflect shield attack. So let's begin. So we're going to go this way. And I also recommend running on the inner area as it's less tiles. So you see we use the staff one, we collect them, and continue on. And do not stand in the same place for too long. Continuing on, using it. And it's okay if you miss one or two. Do not stay there longer because you will get killed. Alright, and once you get this message, you're going to hit your shield, and it should deflect part of it back onto the guy, and then continue the process. But you only use the shield attack when you get that message from Nomad that pops up on your screen. And basically what it's doing is it's deflecting as many spirits as you absorbed back onto the guy. And yeah, and that's how you do it. And if you get hit by the beam that's coming from this guy, you have to restart the part, which kind of sucks. But I'm sure you guys should definitely be able to handle this. And hopefully this makes sense. So just absorb the spirits. And then when you get the message from Nomad, use the deflect special attack. So, alright, good luck. I'm going to skip to the end of this part. And there we go. On to the last part. So in this part, Nomad has no special attacks. But he does just rapid fire attack you. So I recommend just standing right about here and using protect from melee. The reason why we're standing here is so we're not in the way of the arm from the Gillinor guy, and we can watch when his special attack is coming, which is like the pink coloring stuff that just spawns. So whenever he starts moving, you want to move out of the way because the pink wall of attack is coming at you. So yeah, good luck with this fight. I'm going to skip to the end. As I said, no special attacks from Nomad except for him attacking you really quickly. I think this part is probably the easiest portion of the fighting with him. You just need to keep your health up, essentially. So, good luck. And there we go. Nomad is dead. Doesn't matter which one you choose, doesn't change anything really except how the cutscene plays out. Doesn't matter what you say. About time. Doesn't matter what you say. It'll end up the same either way. Alright, so at this point we want to talk death. I've said my goodbyes. So what do we do? You can choose either. If you say yes, Zanuck will be the new Soul Worlds leader, and if not, then a pile of ashes will be. Kind of weird, but I'm saying yes because I like Zanuck. Goodbye, my friends. And there we go, guys. Nicely done. That was a pretty hard boss fight, so especially at my combat level and stats. So glad I finished it, and hope this helped you out.